Good Sunday morning, everyone. Meteorologist Aaron White here in the 10 TV Weather Impact Center, and we are tracking some pretty impactful weather coming in here over the course of the next 24 to 36 hours. So thank you for joining us here this morning. I'm going to be talking about the forecast and how much snowfall we are expecting here as we go through this evening and really getting into tonight and for Monday, as we will see snow here across central Ohio. So as we go along, if you have any questions, if you're watching us here on Facebook or if you're watching on 10 TV Plus, you can give us a question in the comment section here on the Facebook Live. You can also text if you have your phone ready. If you want to text a question about the snow that's coming in here, all you have to do is text the number 614-460-3345, and I'll be answering those questions here as we really go through the forecast here for today. So let's go ahead and dive into things right now as we are tracking a weather impact alert here for Monday, and we have another weather impact alert that was just issued here going into Tuesday morning. As Tuesday, we are tracking some very cold temperatures down in the 20s, and we actually have wind chill factors down in the teens here. So after the snow is over, get ready for some pretty cold temperatures, more unseasonably cold as we get into our Tuesday. But right now the focus is going to be on the snow expected here as we go into tomorrow. Snow will actually start as early as this evening as a mixture of rain and snow, and then change over to all snow as we go through tonight. So as we will have a period of time tonight with some snow and temperatures below freezing, that will lead to some slippery spots here as we go into your Monday. So just keep that in mind. Give yourself some extra time. Now, I know it's not a big storm by any means, but even sometimes when we get these little snows less than a couple of inches, that's just enough to make the road slippery enough that there will be some slowdowns. And just, you want to give yourself an extra time so that if you do encounter some slowdowns and some slippery spots, you can still be safe on the roads here as we go through tomorrow morning with all the snow that we are forecasting here right now for your Monday. That snow will clear out, and we are looking at some quieter conditions going into the rest of the week. Just got to deal with some colder temperatures here looking ahead to Monday and Tuesday. Now, for temperatures right now, kind of a wide variety where we look at the southern part of Ohio, we're into the upper 40s and lower 50s, but you go to Columbus, we're at 47 degrees. Further north, we're down in the 30s, so colder air is moving in, and that colder air eventually would lead to the changeover from some rain showers to snow showers after about 5 p.m. today, and we will see that here in the hour-by-hour forecast. For right now, though, things are pretty quiet. We got a cloudy sky. We had some fairly good rain that occurred during the night with rainfall amounts over 1/10 of an inch for several locations, some pretty heavy downpours. That has mostly cleared out, but we are going to be stuck with the cloudy skies, and eventually we'll start to see some more rain showers building in that would then change over to that snow later on. So right now, temperature again, 47 degrees in downtown Columbus. Further north, we got the colder air. Further south, we have some upper 40s and lower 50s, but everyone is going to see the cold, and a lot of us are going to see the snow. Now, this is a look at what it looked like in Toledo earlier this morning, where they had some pretty good snowfall rates, some moderate snowfall there. You can see the snow did cover all the grass and even the roads getting a bit slippery, and while we may not see as much snowfall as they will see in the course of the next couple of days around Toledo, where they're expecting several inches of snowfall, we could see enough that would make roads slippery and could accumulate on the grass and some of those other colder surfaces like the roof, your car, and even some of the overpasses as well. So bridges and overpasses also going to be a concern for some slippery conditions here going into Monday morning. For right now, as we look live at the radar picture again here just after 11 a.m. this morning, we have some scattered rain showers starting to build back into central Ohio. Not overly heavy or impressive by any means. We had some pretty good rain that moved through earlier today. That is now focused over in Pennsylvania, all moving away from us. But as we really look at the bigger picture here, we have, again, more rain showers starting to develop, and we're going to see some more activity building in across Indiana. And it's all because of this area of low pressure that is going to be responsible for bringing us the colder air, and also it's already bringing the snow across parts of northern Ohio. Again, around Toledo, we have some snow still falling in Michigan, and back to the west, more snow there in parts of Illinois and Indiana, around Chicago right now. And notice starting to get that lake effect happening, and that's going to be a big thing with the storm as well. The first round of lake effect snow for the season happening across parts of Lake Erie. So areas around Cleveland towards the east actually have potential for even more snow accumulation going through tomorrow and Tuesday. Again, all because of this area of low pressure. As it builds to the east, we get that counterclockwise flow, so the winds are going to be switching to the north and west, pulling in the colder air and leading to our chance for snow. So let's go ahead and look at this here on the hour-by-hour forecast. Going through today through midday, again, scattered rain showers, but notice even here by noon, that colder air is getting a little bit closer now, so we have some locations already dipping into the mid-30s. So it's possible that Kenton, Bell Fountain could start to see a rain-snow mix here in the next few hours, and then eventually that colder air is going to continue to build through. So by 5 p.m., Columbus, we could be talking about a rain-snow mix around that time, and then that continues to progressively change over to all snow by 11 p.m. So while we're not talking about widespread snow across the area, this is not a storm that's going to bring a significant amount of snowfall to central Ohio, but because we are tracking some snow showers here and there, and what's also a concern is where you see some of that darker blue showing up there, indicating that we could be talking about some heavier bursts of snow leading to a quick reduction in visibility and quick accumulation. So that's something we'll have to watch here for tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., especially along the I-70 corridor, I-71 as well. Notice again some of the darker blues showing up, indicating that we could see some quick bursts of snow, even continuing into the afternoon here on Monday, especially across southern Ohio. Now, we likely will see a little bit of sunshine after the snow ends, but we could still see some more snow showers building through as we head into Monday night, and still a couple of flurries even into our Tuesday morning. But keep in mind, Tuesday, that's when we are also talking about some colder temperatures down in the 20s, and you throw a little bit of wind in there, 10 to 20 miles per hour, wind chill factors down into the teens. So a lot of things happening over the course of the next couple of days, but it will get better as we look ahead to the 7-day forecast. But talk about snowfall and just our overall confidence in how much snowfall we're going to see. Well, of course, higher confidence that we'll at least get a trace of snow. That's pretty much certain for most locations. Not everyone's going to see any measurable snowfall, but most of us will see at least a trace to maybe a couple tenths of an inch. Now, talk about at least an inch of snowfall. Well, I think a lot of us will see that, especially areas in central and northern Ohio. Northern Ohio is going to get quite a bit more snowfall, areas around Toledo and Cleveland, of course, and then a confidence a lot lower for more significant accumulations. But right now, looking at a trace to a couple of inches seems like a pretty safe bet for most of us here in central Ohio. This is a look at the latest snowfall map, and we are going to see some of those bursts of snow building through. And right now, looking at about an inch, maybe up to 2 inches for some locations here in the lighter blue. Half an inch to an inch and a half here in southern Ohio for Chillicothe, Waverly, and over towards Logan and Athens as well. And then about a trace to maybe an inch further to the east around Cambridge. So right now, it looks like a lot of the heavier snow is going to be focused to our north, especially further away from central Ohio you get, Toledo, Cleveland, and back towards the west. Really, once you get into that lake effect snow belt, that's where we're talking more of the heavier snowfall. But it is still possible that we could see some of those bursts moving through central Ohio to try to maybe lead to a couple of inches of snowfall here. But the other thing to keep in mind is as we head through Monday, while we'll have snow falling in the morning, our temperatures will get up into the mid-30s, so there will be some melting going on, which also will help to lead to some better road conditions by the afternoon, but also some of the snow will be melting. So while we could see a couple inches of snow fall, you might not measure that much. So that's why we're keeping the numbers on the lower side here through tonight and Monday. This is actually through Tuesday morning, so once all is said and done, a couple of inches of snow may fall, but you may only measure a half an inch to an inch. So that's what we're looking at for the snowfall. But now let's go ahead and go into Tuesday, where we're talking about that other weather impact alert here as we have the colder air settling in. And we're talking about low wind chills and maybe a couple flurries around as well with some clouds here and there. But more the concern would be for those low wind chills. So of course, make sure to bundle up as the kids are heading off to the bus stop, make sure they're well equipped with the gloves, the jacket, the hat, everything they need for these colder temperatures that we haven't really seen for quite some time. So as we go through the 7-day forecast here, again, a lot of things happening here today. Temperatures falling through the rest of our Sunday. We're in the mid to upper 40s, near 50 right now for some locations. It's going to keep dropping. Everyone's going to be down in the 30s by this evening. And we're only in the 30s for Monday and Tuesday with the chance of, some snow showers here, especially through the morning hours. A few more snow showers continue into Monday night. A couple of flurries for Tuesday morning, but still keeping temperatures on the cold side. 39 the high here on Tuesday. But after that, things are looking a lot better here. So we can get rid of the snow, we'll get rid of the cold, and we'll be back up to more seasonal conditions with highs in the 50s here for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then the rest of the 7-day forecast still, looking good here for Saturday. I know the laptop's in the way there, but Saturday we're calling for 59 degrees. So really, some pretty good conditions here once we get past the snow and the colder temperatures. So again, if you're watching this here right now, time is just about 11:11 here on our Sunday morning, going through the forecast with the snow. So if you have any questions here, if you want to drop a comment, if you're watching us here on Facebook Live, or if you're watching on 10 TV Plus, you can text the number 614-460-3345, and I'll try to answer some of your questions here as we continue on. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up Facebook Live here and see what we got going on. Looks like I'm not loading, so let's try to refresh this here. All right, doesn't look like there's any questions yet. So if you're, again, just joining us right now here on Facebook Live, go ahead and, if you have a question about the snow or really anything about the forecast, go ahead and drop a question there in the comment section. And again, 10 TV Plus, if you're watching us right now, you can text the number 614-460-3345. That question will come directly to this laptop, and I can answer that for you here as we are talking about a little bit more active weather here for the next couple of days. Of course, we had the rain move through earlier this morning. That has cleared for now. There are a few of us that are still getting some rain showers, but a lot of us are dry at the moment. It's going to change here because we are tracking that next round of snow. So here's a look at what we have going on. Again, a 10 weather impact alert for tomorrow morning as we see our first snowfall of the season. And it's going to start as early as this afternoon and this evening for some locations as a mixture of rain and snow. So because it's a mixture, means temperatures are going to still be above freezing and not going to really stick. But once our temperatures get closer to freezing, down to 32, and then down into the upper 30s or actually upper 20s and lower 30s here tonight, then we will be talking about some conditions where roads are going to get slippery and the snow might start to accumulate in some areas here going into our Monday morning. So keep that in mind. That's a concern, is Monday morning for some accumulation, less than a couple inches, but roads being slippery, and that's going to have impacts, of course, on your commute Monday morning. So just remember that. Give yourself plenty of time here. If you're heading out the door, just make sure you leave early enough so that you don't encounter too much of a problem here as we are tracking that snow. Meanwhile, temperatures right now, a lot of us too warm for the snow. We are still seeing some rain showers. We have mid to upper 40s. We have low 50s. We have mid 50s. Piketon, 54 degrees, nice and mild right now. 50 in Jackson, 51 Chillicothe, 47 in Columbus. So you can see the further north you go, it starts dropping pretty quickly. Down to 43 in Delaware, 40 in Marion, and Kenton already at 36 degrees. So colder air is moving in, and likely a few locations may start to see that snow falling here, pretty quickly. As we look live right now downtown, pretty overcast. There's still a few spotty showers here and there building through. 47 right now. And what we're also going to be seeing is that wind switching to the northwest, ushering in the colder air, and it'll pick up a bit too. So that eventually would lead to a wind chill factor even by tomorrow, but especially looking ahead to Tuesday morning as our temperatures will be in the 20s. It'll feel like it's in the teens. So it's going to be pretty cold here for a couple of days. Here's a look at Toledo earlier this morning, though, as that snow was falling, and it was coming down at a pretty good clip. Some moderate snowfall and notice what the result was after a few hours of some snow. The grass was covered. The roads were pretty much covered. You can see where the cars were driving along and plows were going through, but still creating a slippery mess there in Toledo and northwestern Ohio earlier today. Now, they are catching a little break, but some more snow is still in the forecast for them and, of course, in the forecast for us. Right now, though, as we look live at the radar here at 11:15, we are tracking rain showers making their way back in. These are coming in from the west, so we're starting to see some rain showers around London, down towards Washington Courthouse, up to Springfield, back to Dayton, and these will be moving through the Columbus metro here over the course of the next hour. So if you're heading out for lunch, don't be surprised if you encounter a couple of rain showers, and these ones are not going to be as heavy as what we had earlier this morning, but you're going to encounter some rain showers. So just keep that in mind. If you have the umbrella with you, take it with you as we are tracking the rain and eventually those snow showers coming in later on. So zooming things out here, you can see the larger picture, all that snow now building to the north and actually moving into parts of Canada. But what's happening over here? Well, we have some more snow starting to develop. So what we're going to be seeing is some spotty rain and snow showers developing in this area. And then eventually all that really builds to the east as we have this area of low pressure really pretty much nearby, centered overhead. As this builds to the east, all that you see there, well, that has to go somewhere, and it's all going to follow that area of low pressure. So the colder air will follow, the snow showers will follow as well. And what's also going to happen as we're getting that colder air moving, of course, over the Great Lakes, we're starting to get that lake effect snow kicking in. So the lake effect snow belts are going to see quite a bit here as we go through the next couple of days, especially southern parts of the Chicago metro, Gary, Indiana, that northwestern corner going to be getting quite a bit of snow, and even areas around Cleveland into the northeast corner of Ohio really going to see that lake effect snow belt really kick into gear here going into Monday and continue even into our Tuesday. So a lot of things are happening here locally and, of course, not too far away with all the snow. So here's another look at the hour-by-hour forecast. Again, got the scattered showers moving in right now. And notice that colder air getting closer, so we could start to see some snowflakes flying here around Kenton, Bellefontaine, maybe in the next couple of hours, and then that continues and really starts to fill in. So this is not going to be a widespread snow. It's going to be rather scattered. So at 5 p.m., 6, 7 p.m., rain, snow showers, kind of a mixture of both. Not everyone's going to see it. While it looks like a lot here, it could be a situation where we have some rain and snow showers in Columbus and then not so much happening in Lancaster, or vice versa. So scattered rain and eventual snow showers moving through this evening, and then again might catch a break. More snow showers building through as we head into tonight and for tomorrow morning. So what we're really going to be watching for tomorrow that's also going to have an impact is going to be for some of these heavier bursts of snow. Where you see that darker blue showing up there, could have a burst of snow, maybe only 5 minutes. Think of it as like a downpour of rain, only lasting for a couple of minutes, and then it's back to some light showers. That could be a situation where we have this heavy burst of snow, leads to a drop in visibility, leads to roads getting slick quickly, and some quick accumulation. That's a situation that could happen here tomorrow morning as we are watching these bursts of snow, the kind of a squall, if you will, moving through central Ohio, especially along the I-70 corridor. That continues to build to the south. We have some more snow still falling here over southern Ohio, while others are getting some sunshine here by the afternoon. So that's what's happening tomorrow, and then we get another burst of some snow showers going into Monday evening and overnight, and then by Tuesday morning here at 5 a.m., still tracking some clouds, starting to get some breaks in the clouds, allowing those temperatures to get into the 20s, but we're also going to be seeing that wind kicking up out of the northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour, and still potentially, with any of the clouds around, some scattered flurries. But flurries not going to really amount to anything, but roads could still be a little slippery here, even going into our Tuesday morning. But what's also going to be the concern is the colder air, as we'll see wind chill factors down into the teens. But let's talk about the snowfall here. The confidence is that we'll pretty high confidence that we'll at least get a trace. That seems pretty certain with what's happening here and what the computer projections are showing. Now, there has been some variations in how much snowfall we are going to get. This is one of those systems that's a bit unorganized in a way and not showing that widespread snow because it's scattered activity. Not everyone's going to see the same amounts of snowfall. Just like when we get scattered showers, we don't all get the same amount of rain, so it's going to be a situation where we don't all get the same amount of snow. But at least a trace, yeah, I think that's a pretty safe bet. A dusting, not, yeah, a pretty safe bet, especially on the grass. The roads are still pretty warm, so they may not, the snow may not stick to the roads at least right away, but as that snow continues to fall, the road temperatures will start to drop, and then roads will get a little bit slippery, kind of slushy here, especially if we get some of those heavier bursts that I mentioned going into Monday morning. So what we're looking at, higher confidence for a trace to an inch, maybe up to 2 in a couple places, and then that's pretty much it. More snowfall, higher totals, of course, where we have the lake effect further north. So here's our latest snowfall forecast, where we're looking at about 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches here in southern Ohio, Logan, Waverly, Piketon, Chillicothe. But keep in mind, our temperatures are also going to be up into the mid-30s here for your Monday afternoon. So while snow is falling, some of it's going to be kind of melting at the same time. So you may not actually measure with a ruler 1.5 inches of snowfall. It might be closer to that 1/2 inch or 1 inch mark. So again, it's going to be our first snow of the season, so it is still something to talk about, and it is going to cause some problems on the roads and accumulate on the grass and some of those other colder surfaces, but also areas north, 1 to 2 inches. Columbus, the metro, we could see up to 2 inches of snowfall, potentially even as much as 3 inches of snowfall. But like I said, a lot of it's going to be falling. It's going to be melting, so there's also going to be some compaction, so you may only measure 1 inch to 2 inches of snowfall here going through by Tuesday morning. So this is I don't want to say a long duration. It's going to be starting this evening through tonight, through tomorrow, and then even a few more snow showers are possible here Monday night. But the most of the accumulation would be happening here overnight, basically from about this evening, say 7 p.m. until noon on Mondays, when we're going to pick up most of our snowfall, then continue on with some off and on snow showers here through Monday night. So when all is said and done, a trace to a couple of inches, pretty safe bet here across central Ohio. Then we talk about the cold, moving in here for Tuesday morning, low wind chills and maybe still a couple flurries around, but temperatures are down in the 20s, wind chill factors are down in the teens, so bundle up here and bundle up the kids off to the bus stop here for really Monday and Tuesday morning, as our temperatures will be in the 20s in the morning, only in the 30s by the afternoon. But we do see some brighter skies and some better conditions here after Tuesday. So by Wednesday, we're back up into the 50s. But let's go ahead and talk about Tuesday again. We are talking about temperatures in the 20s here in the morning. Wind chill factors are down into the teens, as low as 13, 14, 15 degrees is what it will feel like when you factor in that wind. So it will be pretty chilly here for Tuesday, really for much of the day. But then we're back up to 52 here for Wednesday and Thursday. A little bit more sunshine is in the forecast. And even by Friday, still not looking bad here. We got 54 for a high temperature. And then Saturday, next weekend, we might be back into the upper 50s, maybe low 60s here. So some warmer temperatures are in the forecast. We just got to get through some active weather here for at least the next 24 to 48 hours here, really for the rest of today and Monday and Tuesday. So again, if you're just joining us right now, the time is now just about 11:24. So we're going to talk for about another 4 minutes. And then if you want to stick around for Face the State coming up here at 11:30, if you have any questions about what we are talking about with the snow, again, this is our first snowfall of the season, and looks like we got asking about Columbus near Pataskala, getting more snow than the metro. It's possible. Right now, indications are that some of the heavier snow, it's going to really kind of depend on where that heavier burst moves through, if that stays to the west or if it goes further to the east of the metro, that's possible. But right now, still looking like a pretty safe bet that most of the area would see a trace to a couple of inches. But there are going to be some localized spots. Not sure where that's going to be. If it's going to be, 50 miles to the northeast of Columbus, 20 miles to the west of Columbus, 20 miles to the east of Columbus, where that heavier burst is going to be, really going to see that tomorrow morning. It's going to be really kind of a question where that develops, and then that's going to be the spot that gets, potentially as much as 2.5, 3 inches of snowfall. But for most of us, you're watching us right now, most of us are going to see a trace to 1.5 inches of snowfall. So it'll be enough that it will make the roads slippery, but it's not one of those bigger snows that we potentially could get later on into the winter season. We'll see how that shapes up here as we head into, of course, December, January, and February. But for right now, again, we're tracking our first round of snowfall, so we're really waiting for these temperatures to start to drop more to see that changeover from rain to snow. Still in the 40s and 50s. Piketon now dropping from 54 to 53. We're down to 48 degrees in London, down to 41 in Marysville, and of course, a few areas, we got mid to upper 30s, so that cold air is not far away. And as we are seeing some rain showers moving through, we could start to see that changeover happening as early as this afternoon, and then everyone would see that changeover from rain to snow happen later on this evening and, of course, going into tonight. But if you're just joining us right now, this is what it looked like in Toledo earlier this morning. So they already had their fair share of snow, and they actually have some more on the way. They're catching a break right now, and some more snow building in as we watch this whole system make its way through the area. So here's another live look at the radar picture showing some light rain showers right now, but our focus is going to be further to the west. As we have this area of low pressure, we're going to be watching what's happening out west here, as we'll see some developing rain and snow showers building in for this evening and tonight and tomorrow. So a lot of things are going to be taking place. As the area of low pressure builds to the east, we get that colder air moving in, and we get some more snow showers building through. So here's another look one more time before we wrap things up here in just about a couple of minutes. So again, if you have a question here, we are going to stay on for just a couple more minutes here, and you can stick around here for Face the State on 10 TV Plus coming up here right at 11:30 in just about 2 minutes. So another look at the hour-by-hour forecast. We got the rain showers around right now through midday. Those continue on, and there's that colder air mixing in with the rain. So a rain-snow mix around 5 p.m., pretty likely here. Then, by later this evening, we see all snow. We're seeing all the white and the blue, not as much green, so all snow here overnight into our Tuesday morning. And this is what's going to be the concern. If this is how it looks Tuesday morning, definitely concerning, because that darker blue, these are some heavier bursts that could quickly drop visibility down to less than a quarter mile, something similar to what we see with dense fog and torrential rainfall. Throw a little wind in there, and of course the temperatures in the upper 20s to near 30. Roads are going to be slippery. Visibility is going to be poor. And that's why we have a 10 weather impact alert here for your Monday morning. So I've said it before, I'll say it again, give yourself plenty of time here. It is the first snow of the season, so just be cautious of what's going on here as we head through your Monday, and then things will start to improve by Monday afternoon. Temperatures get up to the mid-30s, some melting will go on, and then we could see a couple more snow showers here as we go into our Monday night, and potential a few more flurries here looking ahead to our Tuesdays. So going to wrap things up here. Again, this is another look at the snowfall forecast here before we leave for today. We're talking about a trace to a couple of inches through Tuesday morning. So from about this evening, overnight into Monday, most of the snow is going to fall that time, and then a couple more snow showers are possible by Monday night and into Tuesday morning. So a lot for us to track here over the next couple of days. We'll be watching it here for you here on 10 TV and, of course, on 10 TV Plus. Coming up later on this afternoon, meteorologist Michael Behrens will be in with an update on the forecast and kind of watching how the snow evolves as we go through this evening and into the overnight hours, and of course here with the snow for your Monday morning. So That'll do it for us here today. Stick around for right now. Coming up here on 10 TV Plus is Face the State.